Okay, afternoon all. So today we want to look at some question twos, right? So you all have to be revising all these topics, right? So when we're doing these questions, shouldn't be that difficult to do, but we will revise as we go along doing the questions as well. Um, so last class we did question twos. Question ones, right? And I left a couple for you all to do. I hope you all got through them. Anybody had any issues with them? Zana had any issues with the two question ones that remaining to do?
No, sir.
No? Okay. So what I will do, if we don't have time today to correct those two, I will just do a couple videos and post it to Google Classroom. So what I did last week, for those who were absent, I recorded the solutions to those questions with the explanation, and I posted it on YouTube and onto the Google Classroom, right? So you so you all can have a look at that to correct the questions. So I'll do the same for every class going forward, just in case you miss a class or you miss something in class. So when you're doing over the questions, you could have a look at it, and hopefully that will help. All right, so question 2 is algebra. So in algebra, we have many subtopics within algebra, right? So we will go through each one as we do in the question. So number 2, so this first paper we're doing is January 2026, right? Those who join late, it on Google Classroom to access it, right? So question 2a, they ask to factorize the expression 1 minus t squared. So in factorizing, we should remember there are 4 different types of factorizing. There's HCF, grouping, quadratics, and difference of two squares. So quickly, HCF is when we have 2 or 3 terms with a common factor in both of the terms or 3 terms. So if let me say we have 2t plus t squared, this is HCF because we have a common factor in the 2 terms, right? Next one we did was by grouping. By grouping, we will always have 4 terms. So we might have 2p plus q plus 2p squared plus 3q, right? From the time you see 4 terms, we have to do factorizing by grouping. The third one type is quadratics. If we see 2x squared plus x plus 5, this one is by quadratics. And then for this one, we have to look for 2 numbers that multiply, given you AC, and add, given you B. And then the last one is difference of 2 squares. So difference of 2 squares is when you have a, I'll write it here. Difference of 2 squared is when you have a square term minus in a square term. Once we see we have a square term, take away a square term is the first plus the second, first minus the second, right? That is difference of 2 squares. So looking at this first question, looking at this first question, what type of factorizing is that? Ashley, what type of factorizing is that? HCF? Okay, what is HCF? HCF is when you have a common factor with 2 terms, right? What is the common factor with those 2 terms there? If you're telling me HCF. You see that common term in both of them? No. Right? So I see where they're different, but look at t. T is not common to both of them, right? T is only common to the t squared, not the 1. So that one is not HCF. So this one, you see this takeaway sign? That telling you is the difference and you had t squared, and 1 is same as saying 1 squared, right? So this is supposed to be the difference of two squares. And the difference of two squares, as I write just now, a squared minus b squared is equal to the first plus the last, first minus the last, right? So this here, the first term is 1, so this could be 1 plus t in one bracket and 1 minus t, right? That was the difference of two squares. Right, part B, expand and simplify the following expression. Right, so we have double brackets to expand, and then we have a term outside here to add after. So to expand double brackets, what we will do, we will take the first term, multiply by the first term. So it will be 4r by 3r. 4 by 3 is 12. R by r is r squared. Then this first term had to multiply by the second term. 4r by q. That will become positive 4qr. Right, so we finish with the first term. So now we take the second term and we do the same thing. Negative 5q by 3r. Negative 5 by 3 is negative 15. And q by r is qr. And then this term by the last term here now. Negative 5q by q will be negative 5q squared. Right, so we expand the brackets and this is what we end up with. And then we still have this term outside to add back. Right, and then we're looking for these similar terms. So we have 12r squared. We have nothing else with r squared. So that will have a similar term. We write that back. We have 4qr and we have minus 15qr. So these are like terms here. 4qr, negative 15qr, and 3qr. All those are like terms. So we could say 4 take away 15 will give me negative 11. Negative 11 plus 3 is negative 8. So we have negative 8qr. And then we just have minus 5q squared here. Right, so when we simplify that, 12r squared minus 8q minus 5q squared. Okay. To C1. Solve the inequality. Right, so when we solve inequalities, we solve inequalities just as how we would do solving an equation. So we want to solve for p. So that means we're going to bring all the p terms across on the left hand side and all the non-p terms across on the right hand side. So we have negative 4p, so we will write back that as negative 4p. We will bring this plus 2 cross on that side there, so that will become negative 2p greater than or equal, we have 19, and we will bring the plus 3 across on that side, and that will become minus 3. So negative 4p take away 2p is negative 6p greater than or equal to 19 take away 3 is 16. What we're going to do next, we want to get p by itself. So since this is negative 6 multiplying by p, we need to bring this across and divide. And when we bring it across a negative 6 or a negative number and you're dividing or multiplying, we need to switch that inequality sign around. Right? So we get p is less than or equal to 16 over negative 6. P is less than or equal to 16 over negative 6. That is how much? 2 into 16 is 8. 2 and negative 3. So we get P is less than or equal to negative 8 over 3, which is negative 2. 3 2s are 6, 2 and 2/3. Right, so we get P is less than or equal to negative 2 and 2/3. Yeah, that Justin? Yeah? Right, so, right, is that decimal? 2.67. Right, part 2, determine the largest integer value of P that satisfies the inequality in C1. So, from our calculation here, we get P is less than or equal negative 2 and 2/3. What is the largest possible value for P? So if you can't see it offhand, let us just put it in our number line. Like 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. P is less than or equal to negative 2 and 2/3. So negative 2 and 2/3 will be somewhere around here. Right? We shade it because it's also equal to it. And it's less than. So if it's less than, it means it has to go to a smaller number, so you're going in that direction. And I want the largest integer of P. So the largest integer of P would be 3, negative 3. Right? The largest P is equal to negative 3. Right? It wouldn't be negative 2 because negative 2 wouldn't satisfy this inequality, right? P is less than or equal to negative 2 and 2/3. So it's starting from here and going to the left. All right, any questions on that so far? Clarissa?
No, sir.
No? Chelsea?
No, sir.
No? Oh, do you remember all of these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. But sir, I get PTSD.
You getting what?
Remember the paper?
All right, right, right. This is all the paper.
I just,
Well, you're
yeah.
supposed to see everything you get correct, you know?
Yeah.
Right, so let us look at this last part, you know. The diagram shows a right angle triangle with its dimensions given in terms of x. So we have one side as x, one side as 12, one side as 2x plus 3. For the right angle triangle, show that x squared plus 4x minus 45 equal to 0. Right, so Chelsea, since you say you do this paper, what we should do for this part of the question? Chelsea,
Yes, sir.
for this part of the question, what you do? What we could do? You're under no stress here now. Still unsure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
So the
Um.
key word in this question is telling you is a right angle triangle, right? Anytime you see a question with a right angle triangle and they're giving you sides or angles, two things should come to mind: trig ratios or Pythagoras' theorem. Right? Anytime you see a right angle triangle, these two things should come to mind first. How I could implement using trig ratios or Pythagoras' theorem, right? So in this question, they didn't give us anything with angles. It is a 90-degree triangle, so that means we could either use trig ratios or Pythagoras' theorem. But they don't have any angles in here, so therefore we eliminate trig ratios one time. They have the three sides. Once you have three sides, it have to do with Pythagoras' theorem. And what does Pythagoras' theorem state again? It states that the hypotenuse, let me label this C, A, and B. Right? Pythagoras' theorem states that the hypotenuse, remember the longest side or the side opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse, right? It states that the hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the other sides, the shorter sides. So C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Right? So that's Pythagoras' theorem. So let us look at the information given and put it into this theorem now and see how we could simplify it to show this. So remember, once you have to show something, we cannot use this, right? Our final answer have to be this. So C squared equal to A squared plus B squared. C squared is 2x plus 3. So 2x plus 3 squared is equal to A squared. A is 12 plus B squared, that is x. Right, and now it's just to simplify this. 2x plus 3 squared means you're going to take 2x plus 3 and multiply it by itself. 12 squared is 144, and x squared is x squared. Right, so we had double brackets to expand here. So we multiply 2x by 2x, that will give me 4x squared. Then 2x by the 3 will give me 6x. And then 3 by 2x is another 6x. And then 3 by 3 is 9. Right, and then we start to simplify here. We add the like terms. These are the like terms here, but then we could have a look at the question. They want it equal to 0. So they want nothing on the right hand side. So therefore we need to take the right hand side and carry it across on the left hand side. So this side will become 4x squared. 6 and 6 is 12x plus 9. We bring the 144 across, that will become minus 144. We bring the x squared across, it becomes minus x squared. And since we move everything across, the side will be 0. And now we have 4x squared take away 1x squared, so that will become 3x squared plus 12x. 9 take away 144 is negative 130. 130 what? 135. Right? 4x squared take away x squared is 3x squared. 12x come back as it is. 9 take away 144 is negative 135. Right, so we still have finished it. We still didn't arrive at the answer. But looking at the answer and looking at where we reach, what we had to do next? Justin, what we could do next, you know? Huh? No, look at what we have and look at what we're trying to get. Divide by 3. Right? Anytime in a question, especially when we were doing linear programming, when you formulate your equations or your inequality, and in this case your quadratic, and you reach as much as you could simplify, and you're looking at the final result here, right? Definitely at the end you have to divide by some number to get what you want to show. So here now I would write divide by 3. So you divide this whole equation by 3. 3x squared divided by 3, you'll get x squared 12x divided by 3, we'll get 4x. 135 divided by 3, we get 45 equal to 0. Right? And we get exactly what I want us to show. So you write hence shown. Right? So looking back at this question, the first one was simple. Actually, A, B, C. The first 3, 2, 4, 5, 6 marks was simple enough. Part D, they make you think a little bit here to figure that first part out. But once you figure that out, the rest is just simple algebra. Right. Any questions on that? Aidan, you got through that question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay, good. Carissa, how was this question for you now when you did the exam?
I wasn't too okay with the last part, but I worked it out fine now.
Okay. All right. So up next, we're going to look at (2025) question 2. Right, those that joined late, right, you could look at it on the screen here, or you could open it via Google Classroom, right? I pin it on top of the page on Google Classroom so you can see the questions there. So this first question here is, if you can't make it out, this is supposed to be x squared minus 49, right? Right, so you need to factorize this, then you need to factorize this one, then they say hence simplify that. Part B, you have to do making M the subject, and part C, we have to come up with some inequalities. Right, so I've given all you 10 minutes. 10 minutes would be sufficient to do this question, right? So now it's 5:04, so I'll correct it at 5:14. Right, so I give all the 10 minutes up. So where they reach, all you have to now look at all yourself and say, wait, I only reach here in 10 minutes gone. 10 minutes to do this per question too, right? So I'm going to go through it now. Hopefully all you can guess all your memory refresh a bit to move a bit faster. Okay, anybody online finish the question, the whole entire question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, one person. Anybody else? Zana? Tishana? Who again?
So I was finishing the last piece, but I finished everything else.
Okay, good. Chelsea?
Yes, sir, I'm finished.
You finished your question?
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, so let us correct it now. So part question 2A1, this is what? This is January 2025. Factorize each of the following algebraic expressions. Right, so we have a square term, take away. This term is a square number, right? If you want to rewrite it, you could rewrite it as x squared minus 7 squared. Once we see it in that form, there's the first term plus the second term by the first term, take away the second term. Right, so that was the difference of two squares. Part B here, this is a quadratic expression, right? We have x squared plus 2x minus 35. So here we would use two numbers that multiply, given me AC. A is 1 and C is negative 35. So 1 by negative 35 is negative 35. And the same two numbers that when they add, they're giving me b. b is 2. Right, what two numbers multiply could give you 35? 1 by 35 and 5 by 7. And now we have to add or subtract these numbers to get 2. 1 and 35, no way this is going to give me 2. 7 and 5, if I subtract 7 and 5, I get 2. So we know we two numbers must be 5 and 7. Now we have to look at the signs. We want negative 35, so one of them had to be a negative. But which one? This one we want a positive number. So if we want a positive number, that means the bigger number had to be positive and the smaller number had to be negative. Right? Once you determine those two numbers, since A here is 1, this is your answer one time. So your answer here is x minus 5, x plus 7. Right? You could only use these two numbers as your answer immediately once A is 1. If A is, like we said, 2 or 3 or whatever, then we need to list out the terms, 4 terms, and do it by grouping. And then we will finish factorizing. Right, so hence simplify the expression. So the reason they tell you to work it before and then they use the word hence is mean we're going to use what we have above here to work this out here. So they want to simplify x squared minus 49. We already factorized that on top there. So that is x plus 7 by x minus 7. X plus 7 by x minus 7 all over x squared plus 2x minus 35. When we factorize that, we get x plus x minus 5 by x plus 7. Right, and we've seen what we could cancel. So remember, when you have a letter plus a number, you include that as one whole term, right? So that's why we have them in brackets here. So this is our entire term by itself. This is our entire term. This and this are entire terms. So we look at the similar terms here. We have our x plus 7 and our x plus 7 underneath. So we could cancel that out. So here we remain with x minus 7 over x minus 5. Right, so that was the final answer for that. 1 mark for that, right? So you just basically to substitute and simplify. Right, so let's see where's the other question here now. Rearrange the formula to make m the subject. Right, so to make subject of the formula is basically we solving that equation in terms of what they're asking to make. They're asking to make m, so that means we want to have m by itself on the left hand side. So what we will carry across there, we have minus m squared. We want to carry that across, so let us carry that across one time. Minus m squared, when it go across, it become positive m squared. We still have plus s here, equal to k. Right, the whole objective is like m by itself. So now we carry the s across that side now. M squared is equal to k. This is plus s, so when it go across is minus s. And now we could deal to get rid of this square sign. To get m by itself, we carry the square sign across. Remember, when you move across, you're doing the opposite. So if this is square, on that side it becomes square root. So m is equal to the square root of k minus s. Right, so part C here now, they have a full statement. So this is similar to when we were forming the inequalities for linear programming. Lisa has $56 to buy a total of no more than 70 red and green balloons for her party. She buys more green balloons than red, but must buy at least 15 red balloons. Each red balloon costs 75 cents and each green balloon costs 50 cents. Let X and Y represent the number of red and number of green respectively. Write two inequalities in X and Y other than X greater than or equal to 0, Y greater than or equal to 0 to represent the information above. Right, so they say to come up with 2. Now I see in 4 here. So she has $56 to buy a total of no more than 70 red. Red is what again? Red is X and Y is green. So she wants to buy no more than 70, a total of no more than 70. So first inequality there, I would say X plus Y. The red and the green, when you add up the red and the green, is no more than 70. So that means it should be less than or equal to 70. Right? No more than 70. Okay. Zana, give me 1. Zana, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Can you give me an inequality?
Y is more than or equal to
More than or equal to
X,
X,
15X.
15X. Do you see that? Okay, let me see. She buys more green balloons than red balloons. So this statement here alone, she buys more green than red. How are you going to write that? If she buys more green than red. You know see that?
More than.
Right. So Y, which is green, had to be more than the red. Right? So Y will be greater than X. It's more than. Okay, thanks, Anna. Can I have another one? Carissa?
We could have X is more than or equal to 15.
X is more than or equal to 15. She must buy at least 15 red balloons. So that means the red balloons have to be greater than or equal to 15. Good, nice. And then we have one more. So there's only 2 you needed to give, right? So we're just doing all the 4 options here. Aidan, give me the 4th one.
0.75x
Mhm.
plus 0.5y must be less than or equal to $56.
Okay, good. Right. So they say each red balloon costs 75 cents. So 75 cents by X plus 50 cents by a green balloon, 50 cents by Y. So this is how much money, this is how much balloons you could buy, and we have $56 to spend. So that must be less than or equal to 56, right? So depending on how much balloons we buy, we could only spend $56 or less. Good. Right. Oh, this question I done it. This question was long, but right. Part D. given that y is inversely proportional to x minus 2 and x is equal to 11 when y is equal to 9, find the value of y when x is equal to 29. Right, so this is a variation question, right? So y is inversely proportional. So let me write what that is. Y, the proportional sign, variation sign, inversely means is 1 over x minus 2. Right? So remember, inversely means is 1 over what it's proportional to, right? So this is what we would write as the proportional statement. Then we need to change this into an equation. So y will equal, once we change this to equal sign, we introduce k, constant k, x minus 2. Right, so this is our equation. So now as we have our equation, we could use the values given to find what k is. So they tell us x is 11 and y is 9. X is 11 when y is equal to 9. So we would substitute these values now. Y as 9 equal the k over x minus 2, x is 11. So from that we will get 9 is equal to k over 9. K over 9 is 9. So to find k, this is divide. We bring this across and multiply. So therefore k will be 9 times 9, which is 81. Right, so once we find what k is now, we could go and substitute it back into this equation here. Therefore, y is equal to 81 over x minus 2. Right, so this is our main equation. We solve what k was, we find out what k is. So now we could do the last part of the question here. Find the value of y when x is 29. So when x is equal to 29, we substitute x equal to 29, we will get y is equal to 81 over 29 take away 2. 29 take away 2 is 27. 81 over 27 is 3. So therefore y is equal to 3. Right, so we now finish 2025. Right, how we all did in 2025? Those that finished. Okay, all correct? Adam, all correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Chelsea?
Yes, sir.
That yeah, sound like all correct, you know. Tishana, how you did?
So I did good, but I kind of forget how to do this question.
Oh, the last one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I refresh your memory when I do it.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Okay, all right. Zahara, how are you going?
So good, but I didn't go back and do the 81 over the X minus 2.
Okay, let's stop after you find K. So you get half of your marks. All right, so let us look at 2024. So 24, similar to that. Let's see, 2 marks. So I give only 10 minutes again, right? So now it's 5:31, so 5:41. I'll start to correct. Right, so the 10 minutes up, wherever you reach, well, let us see. So this is what? This is January 2024. Alright, so question 2 in January 2024. First thing we have to do is they're asking us to simplify. So just like the last question, to simplify this, we need to factorize the numerator and denominator and then see what could cancel off, right? So this first one on top here is 8CF. We have a common factor. So we could factorize out the x. You will remain with x plus 7 over, and x squared minus 49, where we do that in the last paper, right? That is x plus 7 by x minus 7. The difference are 2 squares. Right, and from this, once we have it written in form of products, we could cancel off x plus 7, x plus 7. So here we remain with x over x minus 7. Right. Zahara, you get through this one, that first question? Zahara? Wait. Zahara, we get bump off. Okay. Jaden, you get through that first question, Jaden?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Part B. Find the value of r when x squared by x to the power 6 equals x to the power r. So r is this little letter in top right here. So when you're multiplying terms with the same term to our power, what we would do, we would add the indice. So x squared by x6 is equal to x6 plus 2 is 8. So now we could equate then, we could see r is equal to 8. Part 2, find s if s cubed is 8. So s cubed is equal to 8. So what we want here, we want a number that multiply by itself 3 times to give me 8. So we could think about a number that is 2. 2 by 2 by 2 is 8. Or mathematically, this is cube. So when you carry it across on the other side, it becomes cube root. And cube root of 8 is 2. Right? Curious then. Oh yeah. Huh? Oh, you multiply 8 by 3? No, so this is s cubed. So it come like if you had s squared is equal to 16, what s going to be? 4, right? So what you do, you carry this across and find the square root of 16, right? So we do the same thing this in the side. But inside that square is cube. So you find the cube root. You know to find cube root on the calculator in case it's a bigger number. No, it's square root. No. Cancel it. Look at this one here. See that one there? No, like cube. The one in the background looking like cube root. So you press shift on that. Start that function. Yeah. And then all right, so that is 2. Let me see what next here now. Right, part C. The diagrams below show a triangle and a quadrilateral. All angles are in degrees and are written in terms of A and or B. Right, so they're telling you in this question all these are angles written in terms of A and B. For the triangle, show 2A plus 5B equal to 171. Right, so the reason why they tell you all of these are angles is so that we would know we could add these up, and we know in a triangle all angles add up to 180. So therefore here we would say A plus 2B, which is one of the angle, plus A plus 9, which is the other angle, plus 3B, which is the third angle. When we add up all of these angles, it have to equal to 180 degrees. Right? In any triangle, angles add up to 180. Right, so now we would add the like terms. A and A will give me 2A, 2B, and 3B, and then is 5B, equal, so we look at what we want to get. We want to get the A and the B on this side and the numbers on the right hand side. So leave the 180 on that side, and we carry this plus 9 across, and it become take away 9. Right, so from that we will get 2A plus 5B is equal to 171. Right, hence shown. Right, so for the quadrilateral, we're going to do the same thing, but instead of it equal to 180, in a quadrilateral, all angles add up to 360. So here we would say 6A, which is one angle, plus 3A plus 2B, which is the next angle, plus 18 plus 3B, which is the third angle, and then the last angle is 3B minus 2A. And all that have to equal to 360 degrees. So let us group the like terms and add them up. 6A plus 3A is 9. 9 take away 2 is 7A. Then we have 2B and 3B, that is 5 plus 3 is 8B, equal to 360. We carry the 18 across in the other side and become minus 18. And from that we will get 7A plus 8B. 360 take away 18 is 342. Right, so again, hence shown. Right, and then the last part, solve the pair of simultaneous equations in 1 and 2 to find the values of A and B. Show all working. 3 marks. So let's say for some reason in our exam we couldn't figure out this part. At least we could use these two equations and solve them simultaneous. So we write it down. 2A plus 5B is equal to 171. That is equation 1. And then equation 2 is 7A plus 8B equal to 342. Equation 2. Right. So to solve simultaneous equations, we have to see either if the A or the B are the same. They are not the same. The A is different and the B is different from each other. So what we could do is take the coefficient. So I want to make A is the same. So if I want to make A is the same, I would take the coefficient of the A in the second equation and multiply equation 1 by it. And then take the coefficient of A in the first equation and multiply equation 2 by it. If you want to make B the same, you do the same thing. You take this 8, you multiply by that. You take this 5, you multiply by that. Alright, so I would take, so I want to change equation 1. So I would say take 7. So 7 multiplied by equation 1 becomes 7 2s are 14A. 7 5s are 35B equal to 171 times 7 is how much? 171 times 7, 1197. So now that becomes equation 3. And then what we do next, we take in 2 and multiply by equation 2. 2 by 7 is 14a plus 16b. 342 by 2, that is 684. That is equation 4. Right, so now we made the a's to be the same. So now we could either add or subtract to get rid of it. And if you remember this acronym that we did in the past, different signs we add the equation, same signs we subtract. So we want to get rid of the a, and the a had the same signs, right? Both of them is positive. So therefore we would subtract. So I would say equation 3 take away equation 4. So 14a take away 14a will go away. 35b take away 16b will give me 19b equal 1197 take away 684 is 513. Therefore b will be, you carry 19 across and divide. $27. Right, so we get b as 27. So now we need to take what b is and substitute it in either the equations here to solve for a. So I will choose the first one. So substitute b equal to 27 in equation 1. So here we have 2a plus 5 by b is 27, equal to 171. So this will give me 2a is equal to 171. I multiply 5 by 27 is 135. You carry 135 across, so take away 135, which is 36. 2a is equal to 36, therefore a will be 36 over 2, which is 18. Right, so therefore, I'll write my answer here now. Therefore, a is equal to 18 and b is equal to 27. Right, and to make sure you're correct, you could take these two values and substitute it into the equation 2 and see if we get back 342, which we will, right? So that is your check. Right, how are you did in this question? Justin, how you do? You get through? First part. The simultaneous? Right. Huh? I start recording the class. Right. So hopefully you record and I will post it up on your classroom so you can look at it. Right. Right. So what are we saying? Right. How about did that question? Zana? Shana, how are you doing?
So I'm doing good.
You're doing good? Good is what out of 9?
So I get everything correct so far. Doing good.
Okay. Carissa?
I do good except for the last part. I kind of mess it up.
Okay, Chelsea? All right, so let me look at the next one now. Where's the next one? 2023. Let me see where's 22. 22, 21. All right, so let me look at 2023. We go work this one together, right? I want to finish 2 more. We done 6 o'clock already. Right, so January 2023, question 2. First part, simplify. We have x cubed in bracket and a square outside there. What are going on equal to? Where's the answer for that? Who knows the answer for that? Quick. X to the power what? 6. Right now. You wasn't sure? Right. When you raise a power to another power, we just multiply them. Right? Right. Part 2. Y to the power 8 divide by y to the power negative 5. What am I going to do? Ashley. Let's see, pick up she calculator one time. You know what I'm going to ask. You're simplifying. So when you're dividing, two same terms to the indices or to a power, the rules of indices is you need to take away the powers. Right? So this would be 8 take away negative 5, which is y to the power of 13. Y to the power of 13. Right, part B. This question is similar to what we have been doing the last. If you notice in January, there's asked similar questions. Factorize xy minus y squared. What type of factorizing is that? This is, Justin, which one is this? This first one. HCF? Where's the common factor there? Y. Right. So this one, the common factor here is y. So then we could factorize out the y, and we remain with x minus y. Right? Y by x is xy, y by y is y squared. So that is this answer here. What is this one here? This is difference. Take away mean difference of 2 squares. We have 2 square terms here. So once you see that, that's your answer right there. X plus y by x minus y. Right? X plus the first term plus the second term, by the first term minus the second term. Hence, simplify the expression. So we already factorize it. So let us put in the information here now. This will become y open bracket x minus y over x plus y by x minus y. Right, and now we could cancel off the similar term. X minus y will go away with the x minus y. So you remain with y over x plus y. And please do not think you could cancel this y with this y. Why we cannot do that? Well, yeah, you have to get it in brackets, but not only that. This x plus y makes this one entire term, right? So we could only cancel a whole term with a whole term. So if this is x plus y, this must be x plus y as well to cancel it, right? Right, so that is 1 by 3 marks. It's 4 marks. I think we're missing on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was 5 marks in one answer. That 1 mark questions. Right, so we have a little technical question here now. The diagram below shows two rectangles M and N with their dimensions expressed in terms of x. Given that the difference between the areas of the two rectangles is 64, right? So they want the difference, so that means we're taking away, what we taking away? The areas of the two rectangles. And when you take away the two rectangles, you're supposed to get 64. So what they're telling you here is the area of M. So we find the area of M and we take away the area of N. Right, that's what this word is saying here, right? They want the difference between the areas of the two rectangles. So we need to find the area of M, find the area of N, and subtract it. And when you do that, they're telling you that the difference of it, when you subtract it, is equal to 64. Right, so based on the statement, that is what you have to try to work out here now. And they say show that x squared minus 32x minus 35 equal to 0. So our final answer have to be this. Okay, so we want to find the area of M. So M is a rectangle. Always find the area of a rectangle again. Let's find the area of a rectangle. Length times breadth, right? So the area of M will be the length, 3x plus 4, multiplied by the breadth, which is x minus 3. So that will be 3x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 3. So I'm putting this in a bigger bracket, right? I want to keep it separate. So this is the area of M, and then we need to take away the area of N. So the area of N is a rectangle as well. The length is x plus 2, and the width is x minus 3. And all that is equal to 64. Right, so we have double brackets here to expand. 3x by x is 3x squared. 3x by negative 3 is negative 9x. 4 by x is 4x. 4 by negative 3 is negative 12. Now that's a minus. Anytime we minus in more than one terms, make sure and keep everything in our bracket, right? X by x is x squared. X by negative 3 is negative 3x. 2 by x is 2x. And then 2 by negative 3 is negative 6. Equal to 64. Right, so let me look at the like terms here now. This is 3x squared minus 9x plus 4x is minus 5x minus 12. That after minus, so I'm still keeping it in a bracket for now. X squared minus 3x plus 2x is minus 1x minus 6 equal to 64. Right, so now we could remove the brackets, but when you're removing the brackets, this negative sign have to apply to all the terms in here, right? So let me look at the like terms. We had 3x squared, take away x squared. That will give me 2x squared. Then we have minus 5x, take away minus x. So this minus and minus going to make this a positive. So we end up with minus 5x plus x, which will give you minus 4x. Then we have minus 12 take away negative 6. So that will become minus 12 plus 6, which will become minus 6. Right, and then what we want to get? We want to have 0 on the side. So therefore we should carry the 64 across here now. 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 minus 64 equal to 0. Right, when we move the 64 across, it becomes minus 64, and we remain with 0 on that side. So here we have 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 minus 64 is minus 70 equal to 0. Right, Justin, that's the final answer we need to get. What we have to do to this to get the final answer? Divide by 2. Good. So we look at this and we look at what we're trying to get. We have 2x squared and we have x squared. So if we divide this by 2, we will remain with x squared minus 2x minus 35 equal to 0. And I would ask us to show. So hence shown. Right, so that is our 4 marks to make you to well work for in this question. Some marks is be giveaway and some marks to make you work for. So if we analyze this question, if we go back up, the first part is supposed to fly through. 1 mark, 1 mark. This 5 marks here is a giveaway 5 marks. Once you know your algebra, right? That should take you less than a minute to do this whole first part here. And this part is where you need to take your time to work for that 4 marks. Right? So your time and effort should have gone into this one. Right, so questions, any questions on that one? That was 2023. No questions? Everybody follow the format of it? Zahara, you come back? See you, leave us now.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so let us do, what was 609? But we had time to do one more. That was 2023, so let me look at 2022. Yeah, 2022 is a short question. We have an inequality, we had to solve an equation, formulate an expression, and factorize. Alright, so now it's 609. I'm giving you all 10 minutes. Should take less than 10 minutes to do this one. So in a 619, I'll correct this one. Right, so by now, everybody's supposed to complete this, right? At least close to completion. Right, so January 2022, question 2. Factorize completely 3n squared plus 15np. So this is HCF, right? We could see a common factor there. The common factor is what? 3n. Right, so the common factor is 3n. So we factorize that out, 3n. When you divide this by 3n, you remain with n plus, you divide 15 by 3, we get 5, and the n come outside, so p. Right, 3n open bracket, n plus 5p. Part B, the diagram below shows a quadrilateral with the length of its sides written in terms of x. Right, so we have all the sides here. 15 take away 2x, 2x take away 1, 2x plus 5, 3x plus 7, 3x minus 7. Write an expression in terms of x for the perimeter of the quadrilateral. Express your answer in its simplest form. Right, so perimeter will equal to what? Perimeter is the total distance around, right? So that means we want to add up all the lengths. So we've started this one, 15 minus 2x plus 3x minus 7 plus 2x plus 5. So we just add in all these sides here, right? Plus 2x, take away 1. Right, so the parameter p will equal, so what we're going to do here now is look at the like terms. So we have minus 2x plus 3x minus 2 plus 3 is how much? That is 1x. So that is 1x plus 2x is 3x plus another 2x, so that is 5x in all. 5x. And then we look at the numbers. 15 take away 7 is 8 plus 5 is 13, take away 1 is 12. So we have plus 12. Right, so the expression would be 5x plus 12 for the perimeter. Part 2 now to tell us that the perimeter of the quadrilateral is 32 centimeters. Find the length of the longest side. So to tell you the perimeter equal to 32, so now we will say 5x plus 12 is equal to 32, and I want us to solve for x. So this plus 12 when it go across will become minus 32 minus 12, which will be 20, and 5x is equal to 20, so x will be 20 over 5, which will be 4 centimeters. Right, so x is 4 centimeters, but the question didn't finish there, right? They ask us to find the length of the longest side. So what we need to do is to go up here now and put in x, 4 as x in all of the lengths to see which one gives us the longest side. So if I put x as 4 here, that will be 2 by 4 is 8. 15 take away 8 is 7 centimeters. If I put the 4 into this one, 4 by 3 is 12. 12 take away 7 is 5 centimeters. If I put the 4 here, 4 2s are 8. 8 take away 1 is 7 centimeters. If I put the 4 here, 4 2s are 8 plus 5 is 13 centimeters. So the length of the longest side is this one here, 13 centimeters. Is equal to 2x plus 5, which is 2 by 4 plus 5, which is equal to 15 centimeters. Right, when you're doing these questions, do not assume, don't watch the diagram and say this looking like the longest side, so this has to be the longest side, right? Never assume that. Always put in your numbers and verify. Right, so we do 2, 4, 6. Right, so the last question is an inequality. This is a double inequality. So I don't know if you remember how to deal with double inequalities. When we have a double inequality to work, we're going to transpose or carry this 3 across on both sides at the same time, right? So this 3 will go across here and multiply, and also go across here and multiply. So we will get 3 multiplied by -1, 3 multiplied by 5. So we have -3 less than 2 minus 4x. 5 3s are 15. Then we want to get rid of this 2, so we carry it across both sides as well. So you carry it across in left hand side, this is plus 2 become -2. -3 minus 2. 15 minus 2. -5 less than or equal to -4x. 15 take away 2 is 13. right? And then we want to get x by itself. So then to get rid of this minus 4, because it's minus 4x, we need to divide both sides by that negative 4. So this would be minus 5 over negative 4. And since we're dividing by a negative, we need to flip that around, right? This could change as well, because we're dividing by negative 4. So now what we get here? 5 over 4 is the same as 1 1/4. 13 over negative 4 is the same as negative 3. 4 3s are 12, 3 1/3. No, 3 1/4. 4 3s are 12, 1/30. Right. So this is when you solve the inequality, this is what we get. X is less than or equal to 1 1/4, but greater than or equal to negative 3 3/4. Determine all the integer values, right? So they want the integer values. So let me do it on a number line, and then we can figure out what the values is. 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Right, so based on this inequality, x must be greater than or equal to negative 3 1/4. So negative 3 1/4 is somewhere here. This is negative 3 1/4 is here. And x is less than 1 1/4. 1 1/4 is somewhere here. So x is less than that, but greater than that. So therefore it will be running from there to there. So all the integers within this range would be negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1. Right, so integer values of x. That satisfy will be negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1. Right? Right, so that was the another question. So what we completed today, we completed 26, 25, 24, 23, and 22. So we did 5 years there. Right, so what I suggest for the next few days, if all you have time, attempt 21 and 20, right? What I will do, I will try to do the do a video with the solutions for it, also with the next 2 from last week, right? I will try to do that sometime this week and post it. Right, so before we wrap up, next week we will be doing revision on topics question 4, which is functions and coordinate geometry. Right, so we will be doing the question 4s from the same set of papers for next week. So again, if you all have time during the week, try and attempt them. So next week we will just go through them, right? Okay, any questions based on anything we did today? Online, anybody have any questions? No?
No, sir.
No? Everybody good? All right. May month fast approaching, eh? So everybody's supposed to be on top of the game right now with all the subjects busy revising. All right. So I'll see you all next week. Have a good week. See what you all could do to revise for next class. Bye.
Bye, sir.